primary concern in my mind is getting our water system up to par, the improvement of the water plant, for distributing water through the community. The complaints that you hear about rates and things, you know, it costs money to do these things, to get them done. And I don't think there's one person in this room that wants to have to say, well, how come all of the water has been turned off? And I consider the water problem in town to be the most major problem. There's a lot of underground lines that are leaking that we cannot find because the water is going downward into the gravel layer and not surfacing.
Okay. Don?
I think probably, in my opinion, the most important thing, like Norris, would be the water system. Also, I think the sewer system is a problem in Mark that needs to be addressed. I mean, I know there's sewer issues in the town. You know, there's just a lot of minor stuff that could be changed, I think, to make it work a whole lot simpler and easier. I don't know that it could be done, but you know, I've got some ideas of how it could be done. But like I say, probably the sewer and the water is the most important thing, I'd say.
Thank you. Joe?
The infrastructure of the town is probably the most critical thing we have. The water plant, as it stands right now, is 40 years old, and lack of preventive maintenance has deteriorated it to the point that it needs a total revamping, along with a new water tank on Cemetery Hill. The people on Hampton Hill has very poor water flow. The quality is there. We're into a project which we have received partial funding for, with a commitment for additional funding. It's about a $4.5 million project. Upon completion, we'll have basically a new water plant, a new water tank. The lines was included in this, supply lines, they was cut because we couldn't justify a $7 million project. We did good to justify a $4.5 million project.
Thank you. Mark?
The most serious concerns of the town are, as everyone stated, the water plant renovations and the cost to the residents and the people served that are not residents, that are served by the town water. The water and sewer pipes in the street are deteriorating to a point where people don't want to fix up their houses or stay in their houses. So that's a very important thing. Economic growth to the town is very important. And just people taking care of their properties, cutting the grass and cleaning up their places is very important to help the town grow and to have people like the town and want to stop and visit driving through, and then possibly want to relocate here and live here or start a business here.
Thank you. Sam?
I think the economic situation, everything else depends upon what's going on with regard to the economic condition of town. A lot of folks on assistance, a lot of folks in rented housing, a lot of folks that owns those houses are not part of the town, and all of those things have contribute to what is basically a down economy, not just in Pocahontas County, but across the country. So it's all the more reason we have to maintain, keep a handle on these costs, and be going back again to making a community that folks want to move here. I think I hear about retirement communities in various places. I think Pocahontas County, we may as well utilize what we do have here and begin to build upon a good retirement community. The people that have made a good living away from here would want to come to this area to spend those retirement dollars.
Thank you. And Scott?
Well, I'll have to agree that the water and sewer is probably one of the top priorities. The water system is so outdated. A lot of you probably don't realize we have 2 tanks as you go up the hill towards the cemetery and turn to go to Lake Street. One of them hasn't been able to be used for years. I think part of the new project is to replace that tank. One of the pumps at the water plant is not pumping at full capacity, which causes the other one to overwork. And we still have some hydrants that aren't putting out the pressure that they need to put out as a result of failed water lines or hydrants needing repaired. So we have to continue working on the water project, to help improve it and sewer to be able to, bring new businesses in here and be able to support them. Somewhere down the road, we're going to have to revisit the flood control. We just have to look at something that's feasible. I know it's disappointing that the flood control project dropped off the table.
Thank you. BJ?
I agree that the infrastructure is probably one of the most important things in town, and it seems to me from what I know that there's a good plan in place to complete this project. I know that people are going to complain about the rates. I have no complaints with the rates because from living in other places, I still think I'm getting a really good deal even when they raise the rates. So we can look at it from that perspective. I think drawing business into town is very, very important. And I also think another important issue is vacant properties all over town.
Thank you. And Adam?
As everybody else has said, it's in the minutes as far back as I read to the 60s. All the citizens have always complained about the water, that being the infrastructure or the rates. So I'd like to hopefully get it where that's not the citizens' complaint anymore. We can move on and start working on other issues. And the second thing I would like to try to help get done is, like everybody said, spruce up the town, get people to stop here, help get businesses back in here, and just try to make it a nice little town again.
Thank you.